Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to my YouTube channel Calculus and Mathematics Learning. Today I am going to solve the chapter number past related with exercise number 1.1. I am going to start class 12 mathematics. So in today's video I am going to solve some of the problems related with exercise number 1.1 related with chapter number 1 functions and limit. So there are total 14 or 15 questions in this exercise. Out of this, the first 10 question, which is very easy question, and it can be solved in a single step. That's why I am not going to solve that 10 question. So let's start with question number 11 related with exercise number 1.1. It tells that determine domain and range of the following functions. The first function is y is equal to 3x plus 4. The second function is f of t is equal to t square plus 5, and c is the third function is f of r is equal to 4 pi r square. So let's suppose this is a function y is equal to 3x plus 4. Over here x is independent variable and y is dependent variable. So x is actually the domain and y is actually the range of this function. How can we find the domain for this function? Domain is actually those values of x on which the function is undefined. The function is going towards infinity. But here if we put each and every positive or negative real number, so on each and every positive or negative real number, this function is defined. So that's why the domain for this function will be all real number. All real number means from positive infinity to negative infinity, all the positive number or negative number must satisfy the function y is equal to 3x plus 4. So the domain is all real number or all negative infinity to positive infinity, or we can also write the real numbers. We can also that find the range of the following function, also range. So for the range, we will shift 4 to the left hand side, it becomes y minus 4 is equal to 3x. Now for the range, we will make the x ln. So for making x ln, we will divide both sides with 3. So this side will become x is equal to y minus 4 divided by 3. So this is in case of for the range. So in this case, if we put each and every positive or negative value to the y, it will give us a positive or negative real number. So it means that the range for this function is also all the real number. All real number are from negative infinity to positive infinity. So this is the range for the option first part of the question number 11. Now let's move toward part 2 of the question number 11. It tells that f of t is equal to t square plus 5. Let's suppose this is a function. Let's suppose f of t is equal to y, so it becomes y is equal to t square plus 5. Now, here t is independent variable and y is dependent variable. So independent variable is actually our domain. So if we put each and every value, positive or negative value to the t, if we insert each and every positive or negative value to the t, it will give us a positive or negative real number. It means that it is also not defined at each and every positive or negative value. So it means that the domain for this function will be also the real number. So all real number are from negative infinity toward positive infinity. We can write in two cases just like this. Now after this data that find range. So for the range we will shift this 5 to the left hand side. It becomes y minus 5 is equal to t square. Now let's suppose this t is actually our x, just like in this question. So here we will ln the t. So for cancelling the square, we will take under root to the both side. So it becomes 2 will cancel out, square will cancel out with under root, so we are left with just t. So t is equal to under root of y minus 5. You know that under root must be take a positive value for greater than the expression value. If we have an expression inside the radicand, so that radicand must be greater than or equal to 0 for the domain. Because if we put a negative value over here, let's suppose I put minus 1 over here, so it becomes under root minus 6 and it becomes under root of 6 iota. So it is imaginary. Remember, in domain and range, we cannot deal with the imaginary number. In domain and range, we will deal with the real number. That's why I take greater than or equal to 0 in this case. Now, shift minus 5 to the right hand side, it becomes y greater than or equal to 5. So it means that the domain for this function, range for this function must be greater than or equal to pi. So we can write it just like a pi, and we can also write greater than or equal to means that pi of 6, 7, 8, 9 and goes up to infinity. So it is defined for pi and goes towards infinity. Remember, here with infinity I will take a open interval. Why I take a open bracket or open interval over here? Because we know that infinity is not a specific value, it is continuous. That's why this value is moved on. That's why I take the open bracket. Over here with pi I take the closed bracket. It means that pi is a constant and it cannot change over here. That's why the range for this function will be pi to infinity. Now move toward option part C of the question number 11. It tells that f of r is equal to 4 pi r square. Let's suppose f of r is equal to y is equal to 4 pi r square. So over here r is independent variable and y is a dependent variable. So for this function the domain will be all positive or negative real number, because if we put each and every value to the r, it will give us a specific positive or negative real number. That's why the domain will be all real number. All real number. Or from negative infinity towards positive infinity we can also taken. Now after this I am going to find a range for this function. So for the range we will take the given equation y is equal to 4 pi r square. Let's suppose this is the function. Now you know that for the range I will take the r, so divide both sides with 4 pi. So it becomes 4 pi will cancel out with 4 pi on the right hand side. So on the right hand side I will left with r square is equal to y divided by 4 pi. Now I am interested in r, so that's why I will take under root to the both side. So it will become r is equal to y divided by 4 pi. Now you know that just like here we take the expression inside the radicand must be greater than or equal to 0, we will apply the same logic over here. We will take the inside the radicand expression, which is y divided by 4 pi, it must be greater than or equal to 0, because here we will deal with the positive real number. That's why I take the positive real number as 0. After this we will move this 4 pi to the right hand side, so it becomes y greater than or equal to 0. So it means that our range will be value from 0 greater than or equal to means 0, 1, 2, 3 and moves to infinity. So our answer will be 0 to infinity. So we will take 0 inside a closed bracket and infinity will be taken in an open bracket or open interval. So this is the range for the question number 11 for the part number C. Now I am going to solve question number 12 related with exercise number 1.1 function and limit. It tells that find the composite function f of g of x and g of f of x of the following function. Part A tells that f of x is equal to x square plus 1 and g of x is equal to 2x, and part B tells that f of x is equal to sin x and g of x is equal to 1 minus x square. Actually, what is compound or composite function? Remember, when one function comes inside another function, so these type of function will be called composite or compound function, because you know that compound function is actually the combination of two or more than two functions. So that type of function is called compound function. So let's move toward part A. It tells that f of x is x square plus 1 and g of x is equal to 2x. So first we are going to find f of g of x. So let's suppose solution. Our f of x is equal to x square plus 1. Now if we look over here inside we have g of x in f of x. So let's suppose I replace this x with g of x. So it becomes f of g of x. So I will replace x and through the whole equation with g of x. So here x will become g of x whole square. So g of x whole square, and here is plus 1. Now put the value of g of x. G of x over here is 2x. So put 2x over here. So it becomes f of g of x. We are going to find g of x. So g of x is equal to g of x is equal to 2x. So put 2x over here. So it becomes 2x whole square plus 1. So f of g of x will be equal to the 2 square gives us 4 and x square gives us x multiply x gives us x square plus 1. So this is our f of g of x. Now after this it tells that find g of f of x. So for the g of f of x I will take g of x which is equal to the 2x in the given question. F g of x is equal to 2x. Now replace this x with f of x. So it becomes g time of f of x is equal to replace x with f of x, because here we replace x with f of x. So here I will replace x with f of x. So it becomes f of x. Now g of f of x will be equal to 2 times of our f of x is x square plus 1, so put x square plus 1. So it becomes 2 times of x square plus 1. So our g of f of x will be equal to 2 multiply x square gives us 2x square and 2 multiply 1 gives us 2. So this is actually our g of f of x for the part A. Now after this I move toward part B. It tells that f of x is equal to sin x and g of x is equal to 1 minus x square. First I am going to find f of g of x. So for g of f of x I will take f of x is equal to sin x. Now replace this x with g of x, so it becomes f time of g of x is equal to replace this x with g of x, so it becomes sin time of g of x. So g of x. Now f of g of x will becomes sin time of g of x is equal to 1 minus x square. 1 minus x square. So this is actually our f of g of x. Now after this I am going to find g of f of x. So for g of f of x I will take g of x which is equal to 1 minus x square given over here. Now after this I replace this x with f of x, so it becomes g time of f of x will be equal to the 1 minus, so here I replace x with f of x, so here I will replace x with f of x whole square. So it becomes f of x whole square, so it becomes g time of f of x is equal to 1 minus time of our f of x is sin x, so it becomes sin x whole square. Sin x whole square. Now after this g time of f of x will be equal to the 1 minus sin x whole square can be written as sin square x. You know that in class 10 we learn a formula sin square x plus cos square x is equal to 1. Now shift sin square x to the right hand side, it becomes a cos square x is equal to 1 minus sin square x. So from here 1 minus sin square x is equal to cos square x, so put over here. So g of f of x will be equal to the cos square x. So this is the g of f of x for the part B, and here this is f of g of x for the part B. Now let's move toward part C of the question number 12 related with exercise number 1.1 composite function. It tells that f of t is equal to square root t and g of t is equal to t square root, and find f of g of t, f of g of t, and also g of f of t. Why we cannot take g of f of g of x and g of f of x over here? Because here the function is in case of variable t. That's why I take g of t and f of t. Now we were given with f of t is equal to under root t. Now replace this t with g of t, so it becomes g of t is equal to replace t with g of t, so it becomes g of t. Now after this f of g of t will be equal to the under root of our, here it becomes f of g of t is equal to under root of g of t, so our g of t is equal to t square, so put t square over here, t square. So it becomes f of g of g of t will be equal to this square will cancel out with under root, so we are just left with t. So it means that our f of g of t is equal to t. Now after this I am going to find g of f of t for the same function. So taking g of t which is equal to the t square in the given question, t square. Now after this replace this t with f of t, so it becomes g time of f of t is equal to replace this t with f of t, so it becomes f of t whole square. Now g time of f of t will be equal to f of t is actually square root time of t, so put square root t over here, so it becomes square root t whole square. F of t is square root t whole square. Now this square will cancel out with under root, so we are left with g time of f of t is equal to just t. So it means that our g of f of t is also equal to the t. So this is part 3 for the question number 12. Now move towards part 4 of the question number 12 related with exercise number 1.1 part D. It tells that f of u is equal to u minus 1 over u plus 1 and g of u is equal to u plus 1 over 1 minus u, and find that f of g of u and g of f of u. First of all, let's suppose I am going towards solution. So let's suppose I take f of u is equal to u minus 1 divided by u plus 1 we are given over here. Now replace this u with g of u, so it becomes f of g of u will be equal to the g of u minus 1 divided by u replaced with g of u, so g of u plus 1. Now after this it becomes f of g of u, it becomes g of u is actually u plus 1 over 1 minus u, so put here. So u plus 1 over 1 minus u, here is minus 1, divided by g of u is u plus 1 over 1 minus u, and here is plus 1. Now after this f of g of u will becomes taking LCM 1 minus u in the numerator, it becomes 1 minus u, u plus 1. Here we have, let's suppose 1. So we will multiply 1 minus u with 1, so it becomes 1 minus u. So multiply the same 1 minus u with 1. So it becomes a minus time of 1 minus u. Whole divided by here division sign. Over here also take LCM 1 minus u. So it becomes u plus 1. Over here we have 1. So multiply 1 minus u with 1 to give us also 1 minus u. So multiply the same 1 minus u with 1, it becomes plus 1 minus u. After this f of g of u will becomes over here it becomes u plus 1. Here is minus 1, and minus gives us plus u, divided by 1 minus u. Here we can write divider because here is a long division, so we can write a division. U plus 1, here u will cancel out with minus u, it becomes 1 plus 1 gives us 2, divided by 1 minus u. After this I solve it over here, so it becomes f of g of u is equal to this, so 1 will cancel out with negative 1, we are left with u plus u gives us 2u. So 2u divided by 1 minus u. Here I will bring a multiplication sign, so when I bring multiplication sign, so these both will be reciprocate. So 1 minus u will goes towards numerator and 2 will comes to the denominator. So 1 minus u will cancel out with 1 minus u and 2 will cancel out with 2. So we are left with f of g of u is equal to single u. So this is the result for f of g of u. Now after this I am going towards g of f of u. So first I will take g of u, which is equal to u plus 1 over 1 minus u. Now after this replace this u with f of u, so it becomes g time of f of u. It becomes f of u plus 1 over 1 minus f of u. U replace with f of u plus 1 over 1 minus f of u. Now after this g time of f of u is equal to f of u is actually u minus 1 over u plus 1. U minus 1 over u plus 1, here is plus 1, divided by 1 minus time of f of u is u minus 1 over u plus 1. Now after this g time of f of u will be equal to the taking LCM over here u plus 1, so u plus 1. In numerator we are left with u minus 1, here we have 1. So multiply 1 with u plus 1, multiply the same u plus 1 with 1, it becomes plus u plus 1. Here is whole division, so here take u plus 1 LCM. In numerator we are here, I will take 1, so 1 multiply u plus 1 gives us u plus 1, multiply the same u plus 1 with 1, it gives us u plus 1. After this, over here is minus sign, u plus 1 multiply 1 gives us u plus 1, multiply the same 1 with u minus 1, it becomes u minus 1. Now I solve it over here, so g time of f of u will be equal to the minus 1 will cancel out with 1, we are left with u plus u gives us 2u. Here is divided by u plus 1. Here is a long division can be written as simple division sign. Over here u plus 1, it gives us minus u, and after this minus gives us plus 1, and divided by u plus 1. Now minus u will cancel out with u, so we are left with g time of f of u is equal to the 2u divided by u plus 1. Over here I will reciprocate both sides because here I will bring multiplication sign instead of division sign. So by bringing multiplication sign instead of division sign, I will reciprocate both of these two numbers. So u plus 1 will goes to a numerator, it becomes u plus 1, and 1 plus 1 gives us 2, it will comes to the denominator. So u plus 1 will cancel out with u plus 1 and 2 will cancel out with 2. So we are left with g time of f of u is equal to a single u. So this is the result for g of f of u for the fourth number part of question number 12. Now move toward the fifth part and the sixth part of question number 12. Fifth part tells that f of x is equal to sin x and g of x is equal to 2x plus 3. First we are going to find f of g of x. So solution, let's suppose I take f of x is equal to sin x. I replace this x with g of x, so it becomes f time of g of x is equal to replace this x also with g of x. So f of g of x will becomes sine time of g of x is 2x plus 3. So this is the result for f of g of x which is equal to sine time of 2x plus 3. Now after this I am going to find g of f of x. So for g of f of x I will take g of x which is equal to 2x plus 3. Now after this put replace x with f of x, so it becomes g time of f of x is equal to 2 time of f of x, and here is plus 3. So g time of f of x will be equal to the 2 time of f of x is equal to sine x. So put sine x over here, it becomes 2 sine x plus 3. So this is the result for g time of f of x. Now move toward the sixth part, which is the last part and the last question of today's lecture. So it tells that f of x is equal to 1 over x and g of x is equal to tangent x. So let's suppose I take f of x is equal to 1 over x, and let's suppose I replace x with g of x, so it becomes f of g of x is equal to 1 over x is replacing with g of x. Now after this f of g of x will becomes 1 over g of x is equal to tangent x, so it becomes 1 over tangent x. Here I replace g of f of x with tangent x, so 1 over tangent x. Here it is the reciprocal form of tangent x, so you know that cotangent x is equal to 1 over tangent x. So I will replace 1 over tangent x with cotangent x. So f of g of x is equal to cotangent of x. Now after this I am going to solve for g of f of x. So let's suppose I take g of x which is equal to tangent x given in the question. Now after this I replace this x with f of x, so it becomes g time of f of x is equal to replace this x with also f of x, so it becomes tangent time of f of x. Now g time of f of x will be equal to the tangent time of f of x is equal to 1 over x. So it becomes a tangent time of 1 over x. Now after this it cannot solve because here it is also a function tangent 1 over x. So this is the result for the part 6 of the question number 12. So with this question I finish my lecture. Inshallah in the next video I will solve question number 13 related with the inverse of a function and question number 14 related with the graph of the following function. So if you like the video, so subscribe my channel and also hit the bell icon to receive the upcoming notification of mathematics. Thank you.